Okay, so raise your hand if when you heard the movie K-pop Demon Hunters, you thought this was going to be an absolute joke of a movie, had no real expectations for this being good in any way, shape, or form. Okay, now raise your hand again if upon watching said movie, K-pop Demon Hunters, you were completely blown away with an incredible story about friendship, love, discovering and embracing your true self, while also having some incredible songs and dance numbers and just beautiful animation. So K-pop Demon Hunters is a brand new animated film from Netflix. I don't know exactly when it dropped on Netflix, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still pretty new, but holy smokes, has the hype for it have skyrocketed as it deserves to, because this movie was amazing. It was actually really funny. So in my agenda, I'm actually doing a movie alphabet challenge where I am watching or trying to watch a movie that starts with every letter of the alphabet. And I believe like on Friday of the past week, I was telling Sam some of the letters I still needed to fill in, and he was like, oh, perfect, K, we can watch K-pop Demon Hunters. And I was like, I'm sorry, what is this now? The very first thing I thought of when he said K-pop Demon Hunters was my brain went to a movie I watched decades ago at a sleepover with some friends called Yo-Yo Cop Girl. It was a Japanese movie about a undercover cop who used a yo-yo as her weapon. But Sam put it on. It was his turn to pick a movie, and that's what he put on. And I am so glad he did, because I'm obsessed with this movie. This was by far the biggest surprise of the year for me, in the sense that I literally thought this movie was going to be a joke going into it. I was like, this can't be real. Like, this has to be some sort of parody or some sort of, like, I don't know, making fun of K-pop and stuff. Like, but no. This movie was amazing. So this movie is animated, as I said, and it stars three women who are a K-pop group, Rumi, Mira, and Zoe. A part of being a worldwide known K-pop group, they are also demon hunters. We learn at the beginning of the movie that every generation has a trio of women who basically save the world and prevent demons from coming to our world through singing and their voices, basically. It's quite a simple concept, but I actually really liked this concept, like the way it was described at the beginning of the movie. I was like, I like this. I think this is going to be really interesting. However, is this going to be a movie like The Purge, where it's a incredible concept, but horrible execution? And no, this movie had an incredible concept and an incredible execution. So like I said, we have Rumi, Mira, and Zoe, who are the main girls in this K-pop group and the main girls of the movie. And they're, like I said, worldwide known K-pop group, and kind of on the side killing demons and just doing their badass, awesome girl power thing. And they were awesome. And I personally think Zoe is my favorite, but really all three of them are amazing in their own way. Rumi is like the leader of the group. She has her own thing going on that we find out throughout the movie. As I mentioned, this movie is about kind of like discovering your true self and embracing your true self and letting it out to the people you love and having their support for who and what you are. I'm not going to get too much into it. It is revealed pretty soon into the movie what I'm talking about, so I'm not going to get too much into it. But basically, the conflict of this movie is a demon boy band comes to Earth and tries to destroy Huntrix. I did not mention their name. Okay, I'm sorry. The K-pop group, the three girls, their group is named Huntrix. I did not mention that. But anyway, okay, boy band. Demon boy band comes to Earth and they're trying to destroy Huntrix basically by taking over their fan base, because if they can control the fans, then the demons can escape, because Huntrix won't be able to prevent anything from happening. I don't know if I'm explaining this very well, but it made sense and it was really well done, and even like kids can enjoy this movie. I literally just showed this movie to my 5-year-old niece yesterday and she loved it, and I guess was asking my sister for the songs almost immediately after the movie. So A+ auntie job. Maybe not to my sister, but to my niece, definitely. This movie has so many different tones to it. Like there's parts where you're laughing hysterically. There was so many parts of this movie that had me giggling, that had me laughing so hard. And then there's also parts of this movie that have you almost in tears. I was definitely almost in tears at particular parts of this movie. And as I mentioned, the songs in this movie are so good. I don't know exactly when this movie came out, but I know it is very recent on Netflix. And one song from this movie called Golden is already #1 on Spotify as I'm filming this. I just saw it on Instagram that song is already #1 on Spotify. My personal favorite from the movie is the song What It Sounds Like. That's kind of like the conclusion song, and I am obsessed with it. I cannot stop listening to that, well, not just that song, but the entire album in particular. Literally, we finished the movie and I was immediately downloading the soundtrack. I was like, yep, I need this. And then the entire next day I listened to the soundtrack, and my 4 favorite songs from this movie are What It Sounds Like, and then I think Golden would be my next favorite, which is the one I mentioned is like #1 on Spotify, and then How It's Done, and then My Idol. I love those 4 songs in particular. The whole album is incredible, but those 4 songs are my favorite, and it already has Oscar buzz for Best Original Song for Golden. The vocals and the words and the song is just amazing. Fun fact, so they do have different actresses who voice and sing for each character, but the singer who sung for Rumi, who as I said is the main character in the movie, that singer actually wrote all of the songs for the movie. So I thought that was super duper cool. I think most of them, I think the only one that doesn't have any Korean in it is What It Sounds Like. And it's funny because I have never ever been into K-pop. I have one single K-pop song on my phone, and literally it's because it was in Amphibia. I'm not super into K-pop. I have nothing against K-pop, but I've just never gotten into it. And so again, for me to love this movie is crazy because I'm not into K-pop. I have no real desire, and I did not think this was going to be a serious movie, but wow, was I just completely blown away by this movie. The only reason I gave it 9 out of 10 opposed to a full 10 out of 10 is just because I'm not a ginormous fan of the like anime style animation. I know lots of people in the world love that, and it definitely still had some hilarious moments. Like there was one particular scene that had me almost rolling on the floor laughing with just the visuals and the animation. But there's one particular scene in this movie that really kind of, the way they animated it really kind of grossed me out. And it's a very common anime type trope that is done, and it's just not my jam, which is ironic because of what it is. That's not to say the animation is not beautiful. It is incredible. Again, the conclusion scene, the big fight at the end with the main demon is amazing. The animation is so cool, but yeah, it's just not my favorite style of animation, and that's literally the only reason I gave this 9 out of 10 opposed to 10 out of 10. Other than that, this movie is perfect. Like I said, I've listened to all the songs nonstop for the last like 3 days, and not only that, but I have rewatched the finale, the What It Sounds Like song. I've rewatched that on YouTube about 100 times. I literally counted today. I watched it 6 times, just that one scene. And not only that, but it was 6 times all the way through. That did not count me rewinding this scene back to my favorite part I don't know how many times. To wrap up this pretty short little review, I needed to talk about this movie because I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so amazing. It's on Netflix, so definitely give it a watch if you have some time. If you have a Netflix account, it is definitely worth your watch. I absolutely loved it, and I would love to see this over another particular movie that I am not going to name the name of, I would love to see this get nominated for Best Original Song opposed to songs from another movie that is coming out that I am not excited for. I won't be watching that movie. I'm not going to say what it is, but if you know me, you probably know what I'm talking about. Let's get this movie some views so that hopefully it can get a Best Original Song nomination, but also I would love for this to come out in some physical form. One of my favorite movies ever is a Netflix animated original, Mitchell's vs. the Machines, and somehow they actually came out with a physical copy of that Sam and I own, and I would love to have a physical copy of this movie as well. So get on Netflix and watch this movie when you have some time. If you like Disney and just adorable stories about like friendship and inner growth and like a love story and little things like that, you have to give this a watch. It's so cute. It's amazing. I loved it. I've already recommended it to like 900 people. Like I said, I just put it on for my niece to watch literally just yesterday and forced her to watch it, but she liked it, so it was okay. But anyway, that is going to be it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, I'd love it if you would like and subscribe. I post new videos every single Friday, and I would love to have you here. Thank you for watching. I will talk to you later. Bye, everybody.